If you're someone who is maybe obsessive about the outcome of things, you are attached, you are controlling, you perceive yourself to be as someone who simply cannot let it go of being controlling as a person in this life, then my goal with this video is to help share with you that it's healthy to want control, and to not be controlling is not what you actually want. You simply want to take this quality of being a controlling person and apply it in a healthy way. So my goal is to also help you to stop judging yourself, because there's nothing wrong with you. Like, there's so much this content of detachment, letting go, but there's nothing wrong with being attached. It's just that you're not doing it in the right way, and you're not filtering through the correct lens of meaning and belief systems in order for you to have the most beneficial experience from this perceived limitation that you have in your personality. So if you're new here, this is just a style of content that I make, which means I paint as I talk, because it helps me to get into a flow state, and it gives you guys better content, because otherwise I can be quite harsh in my communication. So if you are someone that clicked on this video and you feel like, you are judging yourself heavily because you want life to conform to your standards, and maybe it's not working. Maybe you're here in this video because you feel like you are controlling, and you're like, but this isn't working. How can I let go of living in the state of anxiety, of living in the state of perpetual angst and needing people, places, or things to go my way? But I want you to know, the reason you are experiencing this is because you feel out of control in life. And it's not that you want to control that thing that you think you want to control. What you actually want is you want to feel like you are in charge of creating your life, which, please note, there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel like your life is yours to create. We're here to create our lives. We're not here to be a leaf in the wind. So the fact that you feel like you want to control certain things, it just means you want to feel that your life is created by you, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. The only quote-unquote misalignment and misplacement of the energy that you are experiencing is in the idea that you want to control other people or places or things and create your life with the inclusion of the adjustments of the free will of other people, right? Or places or things. But what I want you to do, and what I want you to think about, is that what you want to do instead is you want to become a person who simply allows themselves to want to have their life go their way. It's okay, and you can learn to apply this in a way that is productive and constructive, and will actually allow you to detach from an outcome, because you're no longer defining as your life being created by you. If certain things go your way, you will then learn to define the life going your way when and if you are in alignment and you are doing the things according to your energy. And we could go into manifestation, we could go into all of those things, but the reason I wanted to talk about this video is because in my last video I talked a little bit about this, but I actually cut that part out because I did not feel like it was in alignment with the video, and I said this needs to be a whole separate video. The fact that wanting to control things, wanting to have things go your way is healthy, because if you think about this, right, if you did not have this quality, if you were always detached, if you never cared, who would you be? You would be a leaf in the wind. You would be a people pleaser of all times. You would not do anything. You would never get anywhere in life. You would not accomplish anything. Hell, like getting out of bed, putting yourself together, right, is a sense of control. It's just a different way of looking at it. So if you were never controlling, you would never get anything done. It's just about the way in which you look at it. And I want you to take this energy right now that you are experiencing, that you are projecting onto other people, and I want you to direct all this energy into being controlling of you. That's right. I want you to become controlling of yourself. And I talked about this in my last video, but I want to talk about it more, because what it means to be in control of yourself, it means you understand that your reality is created by you. It's not so much forcing things, okay? There is power versus force. I did not read the whole book, I will be honest with you. It was a bit heavy of a read for me. But what I do understand from this concept is that the greatest power requires the smallest push. If you feel like you have to force something, it's because you don't feel like you are powerful. But please understand, you are powerful. You're more powerful than you realize. It's just that your life is not necessarily created by you forcing, by you imposing things with your physical actions. Your life is primarily created by your energy, by your belief systems, because the world is like a mirror, and what you experience in your three-dimensional reality is not so much a reflection of all the times you try to force and manipulate and control things. It's a reflection of what you believe and feel within your body, within your energy, and within your system, and that is what you want to control. That is what you want to direct all of your focus. It's inwards. What's my energy? What are my belief systems? What am I attracting? And am I trusting that the outside is a mirror of that? Because if you think about this, right, if you are perpetually trying to control and you are emitting this vibration that you don't have what you want and you cannot have what you want, which essentially, if you are someone that perceives that you have to force, you have to chase, you have to do, you have to become something that you're not in order to attain this thing that you're trying to attain and bring into your experience, you are perpetuating a vibration that it's not yours. And as a result, you get that reflection in life. And as a result, you get a reflection in life of feeling like you have to be controlling, because maybe you don't feel like you can have that thing if you just relax and let it come to you. There is a very common affirmation floating in the internet of, I don't chase, I attract. What's meant for me will simply find me. And I love that so much, because truly speaking, what is meant for you will find you. You will not have to chase that thing down. I mean, this is a little different with girls and guys dynamic, with like relationships, but still, you will not have to change yourself. You will not have to force yourself to be something you're not, or to emit an energy that makes you feel contracted. Because there is a very big difference. Usually with being controlling, you feel contracted, you feel constricted, you feel like you have to shove yourself into a certain box, certain character, certain limitations. And because you feel like you have to shove yourself into that box, you're not being yourself anymore. You're giving up your truth for something else. And, you know, it's kind of like no one and nothing wants to be with someone that is not in their own frame. That is not very attractive. So when you're being controlling, you're not being attractive. That's just the truth, okay? You're not being attractive to the people you're trying to control. You're not being attractive to the job opportunities or money that you're trying to control. Whatever you're trying to control, the way to get that thing is to become attractive to that thing. It's okay to want it. It's okay to give your best. But the way you actually get it is to become attractive to that thing. So you take all of your control. You take all of your determination, which if you are controlling, I guarantee you, you have a lot of energy, you have a lot of determination, you have a lot of willpower, and you will probably go at it until it happens, okay? Because I am like that. I go about my goals in the very areas where like I'll keep going at it. If you are controlling, you're probably like this as well, which means you can take all that energy and put it inwards and say, okay, how can I change my internal state, my beliefs, myself? If I were to already embody a state of being in which that desire, place, person, thing, job, whatever is already mine, whom would I be? That's the essence of manifestation. But I don't really want to talk about manifestation because I think it clings so heavily on the outcome. But what you want to realize is that if you already had that desire, you would not be going around wanting it anymore. You would feel complete. You would feel happy. And also, if you really love something, you let it go. If you really loved that thing that you want, right? If you really unconditionally loved whatever you want, if it's a person, if it's a job, if you had this heart-centered presence, which is very important, by the way, because that is attractive, you would not force anyone or anything to be with you if they don't want to. Think about it like this, like if it was a person, right? If you feel like you can be controlling of other people, like your friends or significant other, hypothetically, right? Like in that case, why would you want to control someone who doesn't want to be with you? Let them go. If they don't want to be with you, why would you want to be with someone? Like have some more self-respect than that. But this applies to everything. This applies to jobs. This applies to everything. And if you feel inspired and if you feel like it's exciting for you to work towards something, by all means do it. But just know that like that excitement can lead you to something even better. So it's important to detach yourself from outcome, because you understand that our ego is like a kid. And I've said this in my last video, but I love this analogy so much and I'll keep using it. Your ego is literally like a kid. And the higher self is like an adult. And if you look at this, right, like ego, kids want candy. Like kids, for the most part, okay, I'm just using this as a metaphor, but like, let's just say the kid wants candy because it likes the taste, it's good, it gives them a brain rush, high, sugar high, whatever, right? But the adult knows that's not what's best for the kid, but the kid still wants it. And the kid can throw a tantrum like, give me my freaking candy, I want candy. And they're gonna reach to all the funny places to get it. Our ego is like this too. Our ego tries to control things, it tries to get things, it tries to manipulate because it thinks it knows what is best, but we don't always know that. But still, wanting what you want, there's nothing wrong with that. Even with the kid, like the kid that wants candy, there's nothing wrong with that. If you are a kid that wants candy in your ego, it's okay to say, you know what, this is what I want. It's just what I want, and it's okay to want it. It's even okay to go after it, but please understand that if you are, it depends, like you can split into two camps at this point. Either you split into a camp where you work towards something in a peaceful, grounded approach, where you're peaceful about it, you're like, okay, I want this, I'm gonna work towards it. Or you split into a camp where you reach frustration, where you reach a point where you don't want to be like this anymore, you don't want to control things anymore. Please ask yourself, why do you want that thing so much? Why are you trying to control it? What will it give you once you have it? Most of the control things that we have in life are so highly unconscious. Like we don't think about this. We don't think about why we chase certain things. Like we might want a certain job or an occupation or a person or a place, and we don't even ask ourselves why. What will it give you? Will your life realistically be that different if you have it? Or will your life realistically remain the same if you have it, right? Maybe you'll have a temporary high, maybe you'll feel better, but ask yourself, please, what will it give you? And I want you to ask yourself too, like, how can you give that to yourself right now? Because there is a way you can give that to yourself, whatever that is. If it's a feeling, if it's like, I mean, if you want a partner and you want to cuddle someone, that's a little hard to get. I don't know, get a weighted blanket. But like most things, you can for the most part give to yourself, whatever you want from another person, you know? And if you can do that, if you can learn to give to yourself whatever it is you want from the outcome, it will help you to detach from the outcome and not be so controlling. But ultimately, what I like to say is that literally control is a choice. And if you can learn to control yourself, control your energy, become a match to whatever you want, you will no longer care even if that thing is in your life, because you will have detached from it. Because once you reach a state when you have something, you no longer want it. Like, just let that one sink in, right? When you want something, you're like, I want to, I don't know, whatever it is that you want, you're again perpetuating the energetic expression of this state of being where you're trying to get somewhere, which is not this present moment. And what you will create as a result, you will create more of that. And I don't know if this is very spiritual, if it's something you subscribe to, but you know, these days there's so much science and scientific studies literally that prove that your mind is powerful. Your mind emits an electric field, and your heart emits a magnetic field. And when you combine your electric field and your thoughts and magnetic field of your heart, you produce an electromagnetic field, and that field attracts to you opportunities, people, places, things that match that vibration. And this is largely science-based. Honestly kind of quoting Joe Dispenza book that I'm listening to right now. I just started to listen to it. And it works like this. I don't remember what I was saying, but I will say is you can channel all of your control into that. And it's a lot more fun to do this. It's a lot more fun to channel all of your control into treating life like an experiment and saying, I wonder if I do this, what will happen? How can I do this? Like, don't take it so seriously. That's another thing. Like, life is not that serious. Things are not that serious. And I had to really learn this, and I'm learning to embody this more even, that things are not that serious. Like, they're not that big of a deal. We make a big deal out of things that are not that big of a deal at all. Like, it's not actually like that important, but because our brain is actually wired for survival, and we're wired for extracting and giving more meaning to things where there's actually none to be found. Sorry, this sounds very fancy. All I'm saying is, like, your brain is sometimes wired to dramatize and create importance, but there really kind of is none. Like, certain things that you want or you are obsessing over or trying to control, is it really a life and not life question? Is it really that important? I know you think it's important. I know it feels important. But is it really that important to cause you to lose your peace, to cause you to lose your happiness, to cause you to lose your composure and joy, just to potentially have something happen? Like, is it really that important? Are you really gonna give it that power? I don't think you should be giving up your power to anything outside of you. Like, nothing outside of you deserves to have your precious self be sacrificed for. Like, it's not worth it. Because you are on this earth one time and you deserve to be happy. And maybe that's my next video, that happiness is your birthright. But like, literally, happiness is your birthright. You are here to be happy. You are here to enjoy life. You are here to explore and experience all of it. And that does not depend on external things. It does not. External things are nice, but your happiness does not depend on them. It depends on you. It depends on your choice to be present. And if you can learn to be present with each and every moment, if you can find yourself just being present, I think we overcomplicate this so much. We think that in order to be happy, in order to do something, we need so much. Like, it's not that complicated. It's just being present and understanding that it's fleeting. Like, this moment right now, you will never have this moment ever again. I'm taking this from somewhere, I don't remember where this quote is. It might be Jim Rohn. But you will never have this day ever again. You will never have the same body ever again. You will never be with the same people ever again. We don't even know how long we have on earth. And we forget this, and because of that, we overcomplicate everything. But life is not that serious. Things are not that serious. Like, really, I'm integrating this recently, that it's just about, like, just live life, enjoy life. And like, I'm in the personally mood where I want to squeeze the juice out of every moment. Every moment that I'm alive, I want to squeeze the juice out of it and get the most out of it, because sometimes we take things for granted and we think we will always have this, we will always have everything, and we forget to be present because we don't even acknowledge the fact that even this body is fleeting. All of the things in life that you are experiencing are fleeting. And it's just about squeezing the joy out of every moment. And if you can learn to be present with each and every moment, appreciate and acknowledge each and everything in your life, paradoxically, you won't even care about controlling the future, because the future does not exist. It's not there is no future. It's not here. You can't control it. You can't want to be it a certain way. Yes, you can manifest things, but I'm not really, I like manifestation, but I think there's a more preferable way to do things where you kind of just allow the universe to bring you what is there. It's like a mystery box, because sometimes what you want, what you think you want to manifest, the dream that you have is like scratching the surface of the depths of the beauty of what life has planned for you. Sometimes we set our goals so small and we play small, and we don't even allow life to give us what it actually wants to give us. So if you can be present and if you can appreciate each and every moment and truly choose to let go, because sometimes we are controlling because we don't want the worst case scenario to happen, right? You know what I'm talking about. You want certain things to go your way because you don't want the worst case scenario to happen and to not go your way. But again, we don't know what's going to happen, and it's okay to be cautious. It's all okay. Listen, I make these videos because I enjoy making them. Sometimes I even question why I make them. But at the end of the day, I want you to please note, the way you live your life and the things that you do is entirely up to you. No one is going to judge you for it. No one is going to tell you if it's right or wrong. No one is going to give you a pat on the back or a slap in your face if you do something that you want that they think is not right, because ultimately this is your life to live. Live it the way you want to live it. And, if you want to control things, if you enjoy that sense, then revel in it. Enjoy it. Live it fully. Be present with it. Experience this controllingness, because there's so much beauty to be found in going after something, controlling it and getting it, because it makes you feel like you've done something and you have self-esteem and you have confidence and you have an ability, and it builds your self-esteem, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And sometimes we need it. Sometimes that's what we need. But that's what I mean. There is a healthy way to do it, because you need results. I've also thought for the longest time, I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. Everything is here to benefit you. Whether things happen or don't happen, it doesn't matter. But you know what? It kind of does, because three-dimensional results are a very valid way to gauge your progress. And it's okay to want them. It's okay to get them. So it's really up to you of what kind of experience do you want to have? How much in depth do you want to go with this control nature? How much do you really care about the outcome versus how much do you want to trust to let go of the outcome, which again, I think it's ultimately just about trusting yourself, right? Sometimes it's not even about trying to control, not trying to control. It's just literally, what does your gut say? What does your gut say is the next step? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the camera because I'm like, it's a weird angle. What does your gut say? What does your intuition tell you about going into the next thing? And just do that, okay? And simply know. Put your control into knowing and maintaining this belief that the highest, best possible case scenario will happen. The best thing possible will occur. Or not even the best thing, it's just whatever is needed. What's needed to happen will happen, and whatever happens will benefit you. Because I do believe everything is here to benefit you. And again, we do need results. We do need to control things. So if that's the phase you are in, if the phase you are in is maybe building your self-trust, maybe building your empowerment, maybe building your ability to trust in yourself that you can create. Because again, wanting to control things, it's just wanting to feel like you are creating your life, which is nothing is wrong with that. We're here to create. We're here to experience and become everything that we can. And that's all that being controlling means, is you just want to become your best self and create the kind of life that maybe you want to create. There's literally nothing wrong with that. So I hope that you are able to judge yourself less for it and find some acceptance for that, because truly speaking, no one is going to judge you for it the way that you judge yourself for it. Other people might project stuff onto you. They might judge you. And I'm realizing and integrating a lot recently with this specific topic that people may or may not judge you, but ultimately it's really none of our business what people think. Like for a while I was like, oh, I don't want people to judge me. I want them to think that I'm good enough. I want to be accepted. And it was not conscious. I was doing this subconsciously. I was like, I don't want people to judge me. I don't want them to think badly of me. And I was like, oh, I'm going to make them to approve of me. But it's like, I can't do that. And quite frankly, it's none of my business if they want to judge me. People will judge you no matter what you do. No matter if you are good or bad, they'll judge you regardless. Because people are just people, and this is just Earth, and everyone projects stuff onto everyone regardless of what that is. You know, some people like, oh, I want to be like rich and successful because then people won't judge me and I'll be approved of. But you know what? Do you know how many people judge rich and successful people? How many times they call you a liar? How many times they say, oh, you've done some messed up things. You must have like sold your soul. You must have like, you're a liar. This is not true. This is not possible. Like, who are you to deserve this? Like, people judge you on every level. Every level. You cannot escape judgment. Ever, ever, ever. Ever. So it just depends on what kind of thing you're trying to control, and ultimately what kind of experience you want to have, and ultimately how much trust do you have in yourself to figure it out no matter what happens. Because sometimes we control because we don't trust ourselves to figure it out. And I'm repeating quite a bit what I said in the last video, but I wanted to make a separate video for this because I think my last video I was very much called to go into this topic, but I edited these parts out because it did not fit into the theme, and I said, let me redo it properly. So sometimes we try to control because we don't trust ourselves to figure it out if things go south. But you know what? You will figure it out no matter what happens. You made it this far in life. You've crawled out of dark places thus far. You're fully capable and equipped for whatever will happen next. Because that's the funny thing. Life would not give you chances or opportunities or difficulties or challenges if it didn't also give you the tools and the resources to make it out okay. So if you're given a challenge, you're also given resources. If you're given a difficulty, if you're given an obstacle, you're also given the tools to break out of it. And there's peace in that, because no matter what happens, you will have the ability to break out of it, because life does not give you more than you can carry. Sometimes it feels like that. Sometimes it feels like life gives us more than we can carry. But that's because we can still carry it. And even if it breaks us, it knows that we will put ourselves back into one piece and come out stronger. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. Oh my God, I talked for so long. I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you got something out of it. Again, if there are any other topics you guys want me to talk about, please let me know. Also, please ignore this hand. I applied Jaguar gel to my arms because I cannot commit to real tattoos, but I find these helpful. So this is still developing. This is already developed. So probably by tomorrow, this will be also black like this. For now, it's developing. So anyways, thank you so much for being here. Any other questions or comments, also please leave them down below. With that said, sending you lots of love, and I'll see you in the next one.